Good morning, Twitch.tv. Good morning to YouTube as well. And of course, good morning, mini Motorways. We are off to Dar es Salaam for today's daily challenge, which will see us start with 3 motorways and retain no roundabouts. Oh no. Oh, the horror and pain. We won't have any roundabouts. It'll be fine. It'll be okay. We'll be okay. It'll be all right. Hi. Yeah, what? What do you want? Freaking cat-faced cat. All right. Good morning to Sunflare Space and Shotgun Splicer and Hulkamat. Hulkamat was here first. Let's see. You red, go down that way. You red, swing over thusly. Service that business. And yes, indeed, good morning, little Nora cat. Hi, Nora. Oh, there's a kitten. There is a kitten. That's right. We won't be able to blame the fact that everything's going to inevitably fall apart and die on me putting a roundabout somewhere. It'll be a traffic light that inevitably kills everything. All businesses are red would be... honestly, all businesses are the same color? That might be a cool gimmick. That might be cool. I could see that being cool. Arguably, I should have taken traffic lights there because if I need a bridge, I can just motorway something. But, it's fine. All businesses being the same color. I mean... I've heard worse ideas, I think. That would be interesting. Because, like, even if, the temptation for people would be to just build one giant interconnected road network, that would kill things. That would kill things so very fucking fast. So, who knows? Maybe it would just be bad. Maybe they've playtested that and it was like, it didn't actually work. Who knows? Let's... redraw these light blues. We're gonna have to send them the long way around because you swing down this, that, over, and thus. This red, right. What am I doing? That makes so much more sense than whatever I had previously been doing. I'm glad I thought of that before completing this whole road. Oh, let's see here. Oh my god, hold on. Nah, I made yawning sounds. Alright. I want to send one more thank you. Let us give thanks to...
It's not the best choice.
Bama Broxton, who followed while we were off stream. We're gonna take, we'll take traffic lights here. It'll be fine. We're good on road for a minute. My Twitch feed following, activity feed. There you go. That's the phrase. It's the title of the thing I was looking for. My Twitch activity feed also tells me that Bama Broxton subscribed using their Prime sub. Streamlabs won't let me play the sound for it, but here, let's remember the time. Shotgun Splicer resubscribed a month ago. We'll play that sound just to hear the music.
Good morning.
Good morning indeed. Thank you, Bama Broxton, for dropping the Prime sub and the follow at the same time. Listen, there's no rule that says you can't. There's absolutely no rule that says you have to follow the channel for a very long time before you can start redirecting some of Jeff Bezos's money toward the _Goog. So thank you, Bama Broxton. Yesterday, you may recall, I said that there would be no Gibbimimim today and there will be no Gibbimimim tomorrow. Well, it turns out that job assignments can be canceled and rescheduled. So instead of 2 most of the day and very long drive jobs today and tomorrow, I instead have, we'll take 30 road tiles here, make sure we're good on road for a while. I instead have a part of the day and a decent length drive ahead of me tomorrow, and fucking nothing on the schedule for today. As of now, that could change. Alright, I think we're gonna need to bust out one of our first motorways here. We're gonna run these two dark blue houses down into this business, and we're gonna take these two dark blues and shoot-a-boop them up over to here. Would be a very big pain in the ass to try to get these two extricated and out and around and down and all that, and not worth it. Not worth it. Oh, goodness, stretch. So, the plan, with regard to work schedules and such, is that we're doing more Valkyria Chronicles 4 tonight, and tomorrow, nothing, because it's Friday, and I don't stream on Friday anymore. I used to, sometimes, but then I got tired with work shit, and that continues to be the case. Tomorrow I have a job assignment. I have to drive and do stuff and work in things, and yeah, odds are I'm just gonna not want to stream Friday night, but hey. I have been seized by random impulses in the past. I'm sure it will happen again in the future. This is what the Discord is for. Bang Discord. Don't bang all of Discord. There's a lot of people and some of them are gross, but you know what I mean. Alright, I'm gonna take 30 road tiles again just to make sure I'm absolutely good on road for the rest of the run. I expect to be good on road for the rest of the run, but now we're pretty much locked in there. You go down that way. Sonny, please don't flirt with Sam too. Well, yeah, fine. Flirt with Sam all you want. It's funny. Ow. Shit in my eye. Probably not literal actual shit. I imagine that would be grosser and stinkier. Alright, this dark blue over here has gone circular, which is a problem because, as you may recall, we previously had to this little motorway over here. So, let's see here. These reds right here can be redrawn in such a way. Boop and boop over to here. Shotgun Splicer wants to remember a guy, and that guy is the anonymous Raw General Manager. Oh my god. Okay. So for those who don't know, let's see here. By the way, this this has gone circular, which is also just fine and dandy and fun. That's true. You can flirt with your friends as a treat, as long as everyone is on board with it. You two Reds are going to go up here, service this business. You two Reds are going to come over here, be the primary support right here. And you three Fathermuckers shall go this way. You go right up here. Yeah, heel Michael Cole is prominently involved in the anonymous Raw General Manager. Okay, so in order to properly tell the story of the anonymous Raw General Manager, which was a gimmick in like 2010 and 2011, which was, especially in retrospect, a fucking dire time to watch World Wrestling Entertainment. Like, listen, I say that WWE is bad, and that's because WWE is bad. 2010-ish to 2010 to 2012 WWE is among the worst periods of WWE. Right alongside 2019 to 2022 WWE. Apparently WWE's gotten better in the last year. I'll take people's word on that. I don't need to see it. I trust you. I don't actually trust you, but whatever. Anyway. So in order to tell the story of this stupid angle that started in 2010, you have to go back to 2002. Because in 2002, Vince McMahon appointed Eric Bischoff as the general manager of Monday Night Raw. And in canon, that basically meant he's the guy who's in charge of the show. He's the boss. He's the evil heel authority figure who makes all the matches, and all the baby faces hate him, and every year or so somebody kicks his ass and gets a big pop for it. It's a tried and true staple of professional wrestling booking, by which I mean it's a crutch on which Vince McMahon has leaned for literally a decade. Okay? The evil heel authority figure who everybody hates, who once in a while gets their ass handed to them, is a staple of Vince McMahon's booking. Mostly because that's how WWE made a shit ton of money off of Stone Cold Steve Austin, by having an evil heel authority figure, Vince McMahon, who every once in a while got his ass handed to him, mostly by Steve Austin, but sometimes by like The Rock or something, and they made a bucket of money. They made huge, enormous buckets of money off of that formula, so of course they tried it again, and 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 again. To the point where, by like 2010, 2011, they had also gone through, thank you Hulkman for reminding me of this dire period in World Wrestling Entertainment history. There was a period of like 6 months or so where every Monday night there was a new general manager of Monday Night Raw, and that general manager was a random celebrity. Like Jeremy Piven from Entourage was the general manager of Monday Night Raw one week. Bob Barker was the general manager of Monday Night Raw one week. The Reverend Al Sharpton was the general manager of Monday Night Raw. I have never done this, but I am sure that if you go to Wikipedia, you can find a page that is entitled something like List of General Managers of WWE Monday Night Raw. And you can just scroll through it and you will see McGruber. McGruber was the general manager of Monday Night Raw one week, okay? By the way, the fuck are we gonna do about this dark blue business, and why do I think it involves a stupid bridge? It appears to me as though this involves a stupid bridge. You come this way. All right, so you go that way. This is gonna be fine. This is all gonna be fine. My point is, by 2011, they had beaten the general manager gimmick into the ground, but WWE is bad. So rather than just like have a show or even have an authority figure that isn't a randomly evil, awful human. Like, it never occurs to WWE to just have an authority figure because your show structure requires there to be an authority figure, but not have the authority figure be a major shitbag. Like, sometimes they had babyface good guys running the show. Like, back in the day, they had Mick Foley as the commissioner, which was basically the same exact thing, but he was a babyface, so they called him a different name. This has been a thing all the way back to the 80s. They've had authority figures. I say it started in 2002. This particular position started in 2002. The concept of the dude what makes matches, tale as old as time. My point is, it was a fucking dire time. Dire times. By 2011, they had completely run out of ideas. So, the new idea is that the Raw general manager is anonymous. Nobody wants to be the general manager of Monday Night Raw, you see, because a key part of the job, seemingly, is that every once in a while you get your shit handed to you and everyone hates you. And listen, this is perhaps a bit meta, but it is also true, so good on WWE, I suppose. And honestly, this is a concept that kinda sort of was good and fun for a minute. What they did is they appointed, this is all obviously like a storyline thing. Like, it's the same guy writing the show, that's why it's the same show, that's why the show has sucked for 20 years. It's not actually true. The show sucked for, what's the absolute kindest I can be. When was the last time I legitimately thought WWE was really good? 10 years. There have been isolated periods of general goodness and interest, but for the most part, yeah, I don't remember the last time I actually enjoyed watching the week-to-week WWE product after, like, 2013, 2014. Keep in mind that it took me, like, 3 years to stop after that, so... it's a good cover. It's a good cover. Silly, goofy covers are fun. So the general manager of Monday Night Raw is anonymous. Nobody wants to be the general manager of Monday Night Raw because they all get their shit handed to them. So there is a person who is willing to take the job, but only if this person remains anonymous. So what they do is they set up a podium next to the ring. They set up a podium next to the ring. They put a laptop on top of this podium. Incidentally, anytime anyone looks at this laptop, you can tell that this laptop is not on, it is not connected to anything, and sometimes it has the literal actual format run sheet of the fucking television program right on top of its fucking keyboard. WWE is so bad. So bad at its own bad, stupid ideas. This is an example of WWE having a decent idea and executing it terribly. Alright, now, we need to get greens over to here. We can't really do that. Man, I could go for a roundabout right about now. A roundabout right here would go down so smooth. And yet, we shall not have them. Instead, you know what? Instead of figuring out ways to get these yellows all the way down here and motorway this bullshit, why don't we motorway the yellows? That makes more sense. That'll save a bucket of road tiles. It'll mean I can have all of these piled up in here. Motorway number 5, right down here. You go that way. A little bit of motorway in your life. A little bit of big fuck off road by your side, etc., etc. You go down that way. You 3 greens service that. You 3 greens service that. Here, go this way instead with that. Yay for you. Everybody go. All right, give me another motorway to replace the one I just used. So they set up a podium with a laptop on it. And whenever something happens on the show that requires the general manager to make a ruling, like, oh, these 2 guys are in a fist fight. Let's get security to separate them, and then we'll organize it into a match later tonight. Or like, oh, this guy's out here and he wants a title shot, and the champion's out here and he's like, yeah, I don't want to give you a title shot because I'm a cowardly heel champion because I'm the only kind of champion WWE knows how to book. The general manager can poke his head in and be like, actually, The Miz, you must defend your Intercontinental title against Wade Barrett tonight. Rawr, 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 rawr. Something like that. I swear to God, that's an angle that's happened. That exact angle with those exact people. It's happened like 4 times. Oh God, something just went circular and I wasn't paying attention. Oh, it was this. Okay. Well, that's not great, but it'll be fine. Here, let's reposition motorway number 2. We're gonna redraw motorway number 2 so that these 5 serve as support for this over to here, and also, plus factually, we'll take you and swing you in this way. So you 5 go over here. You 5 plus you go down here. Everything's coming up Goog House. So whenever they have an angle like that would usually require, like, you hear a song that sounds like a Back in Black ripoff, and oh hey, it's Eric Bischoff, he's gonna make a ruling. Instead, you hear an iPhone notification, like the little bloop, bloop, that thing. You hear that sound, which I'm sure they got permission to use, or they didn't need permission to use, or they just kind of ripped off. Who the fuck knows? But you hear that exact sound, and they flash the lights, and then they dim the lights, and then they flash the lights, so as to make perfectly clear that the anonymous Raw general manager, who can type at the speed of light, has sent an email to anonymous Raw GM at WWE.com, or whatever the actual email address is, and is delivering a ruling. Now, of course, someone needs to deliver this ruling. Someone needs to actually read what the anonymous Raw general manager is saying. You can't just tell people, oh, there's been an email. You can't just have the announce crew do it on the TV show for the people at home, because there are people in the arena, and you need like a big pop when the anonymous Raw general manager says, actually, The Miz, you must defend your Intercontinental Championship against Wade Barrett tonight. Something. Actually, I think Miz was always the babyface in the feuds with Wade Barrett. Anyway. God, babyface Miz. That was not good times. There's a reason this period of time is fucking dire, folks. Really should have taken a bridge there, but it's not going to matter. No, Teddy Long was the tag team match guy. Teddy Long was a tag team match, and you will go one-on-one with The Undertaker, sometimes with the word playa attached to either of those. It'll be a tag team match, playa! Anyway. So there's the iPhone notification sound, you flash the lights, and then someone has to go up to the lectern and like read the letter from the anonymous Raw general manager so as to actually deliver the ruling, right? Enter heel Michael Cole. Oh, good God. So Michael Cole is a fucking terrible professional wrestling announcer. That's both a true fact about professional wrestling and a key piece of information to the rest of this story. Michael Cole has been an announcer with WWE for ever. At this point, it's only been like 13 years because this is 2011. He has since remained with WWE for the intervening 12 years. So at this point, Michael Cole has been with WWE for 25 years and is amazingly still a fucking terrible professional wrestling announcer. But in 2011, Michael Cole is a fucking terrible professional wrestling announcer who has been tabbed as the permanent replacement for Jim Ross, who was, speaking in the past tense here, oh yeah, like Cole's a producer, Cole's the guy who's in charge of all the announcing across all the shows. He's apparently a good dude. Like, I don't want to shit on Michael Cole as a guy. Dude has put up with Vince McMahon's bullshit for 25 goddamn years. Okay? He has an impossible job. Listen. Okay. The lead announcer on Monday Night Raw is a fucking impossible job because you have to tell terrible stories in a believable fashion while constantly having Vince McMahon shout in your ear to get over whatever stupid, inane bullshit has popped into Vince McMahon's head. Okay? It's an impossible job that no person could do well. Additionally, Michael Cole is fucking terrible at it. I'm not saying that anyone could do well. I'm saying that Michael Cole is bad at it. There are other jobs that Michael Cole does that I'm sure he's good at. Again, I hear nothing but wonderful things about Michael Cole as a dude. As a professional wrestling play-by-play announcer, Michael Cole is the drizzling shits. Also, Michael Cole's job only sometimes vaguely resembles the job of a professional wrestling play-by-play announcer. But the guy he replaced, Jim Ross, was the best professional wrestling play-by-play announcer of all time and had been the voice of the company during the company's most successful boom period, right? So the dude's in an impossible job, doing it terribly, and being asked to replace the best dude to ever do this job, which was, when Jim Ross was doing it, a different job because there was less Vince McMahon bullshit to put up with. Vince McMahon has gotten worse as he's gotten older. So as Vince McMahon has gotten older and crazier and more racist and evil, he's fed more and more of his inane, stupid bullshit into WWE programming, which has had to be gotten over by Michael fucking Cole, who, again, sucks. So, you've got Michael Cole, who's the lead announcer of Monday Night Raw, who fucking sucks and everyone hates, both because he fucking sucks and because he's not Jim Ross. One of these things, neither of these things is fixable at this point, mostly because, hey, question. Why are these blues going this way instead of up here? I guess it's because I'd have to have blues go over. I could run these. Actually, yeah. Well, no. Because then I have to deal with water. It's working. So Michael Cole's the lead announcer of Monday Night Raw, and he's terrible. And additionally, one thing Vince McMahon really fucking hates is good professional wrestlers. Or more specifically, Bryan Danielson. Vince McMahon fucking hated Bryan Danielson, so Michael Cole, the mouthpiece of Vince McMahon, fucking hated Bryan Danielson. And honestly, I couldn't tell you a moment where this started. I don't remember when exactly this started, but Michael Cole disliking Bryan Danielson and Daniel Bryan, which was his WWE name, because of course he had a different name in WWE. At some point, this just morphs into Michael Cole is a heel, which, I mean, historically speaking, you want on your announce team your play-by-play commentator to be the voice of the fan, right? You want your play-by-play commentator to be the voice of the fan, the voice of reason, the voice of logic, which usually means they're a babyface, because, the fans are supposed to cheer for the babyfaces, right? You're supposed to love your lead play-by-play announcer because he's the guy saying, no, that's not fair! Stop him! Someone get him off! He's gonna break his leg! By God, he broke his leg! It's a tragedy! Someone get security out here! That sort of thing, right? Just, say what the fans at home are thinking, okay? And then you pair this babyface play-by-play announcer with a heel color commentator so that you have someone who can argue the other side, and you can create tension, and you can tell funny jokes or whatever, because listen, sometimes the heels are just funny and better and good. It's true. Anyway, let's get these three dark blues involved in the project of fixing this garbage bullshit. I think what we're gonna do is I'm actually gonna run this. Yeah, I'm gonna run this light blue road down over this way so that these three dark blues can motorway themselves right in here. That might even let me kill motorway number 3, which would be good because I could use, let's kill motorway number 3. We're gonna kill motorway number 3 and swing this dark blue house up here to support this business, because this business is also just fucking dying. So you want your babyface lead announcer to be paired with a heel color commentator so that they can argue and have tension and do funny jokes. And this is another, this is a formula as opposed to a trope. And listen, the difference between a formula and a trope is that formulas work. Tropes sometimes work, formulas work. When a formula stops working, it becomes a trope. Or something like that. I don't know if that's actually true. I may have just dispensed great television writing knowledge. I probably didn't. But anyway, let's bulldoze a tree so we can get more greenhouses down here to support this green circle, which is kinda dying, but it'll be fine. You are a dark blue house not presently doing anything. You can swing down to the south and support this. Everybody go. At some point, the WWE dynamic morphs from, this is Michael Cole, he's our lead announcer even though nobody likes him, to Michael Cole is a heel. Michael Cole is advocating for the heels. He is cheering them on when they do stuff. He absolutely fucking loves The Miz, who is the big heel at the time. It might have even been The Miz, honestly. It might have just started with, yeah, it was The Miz and it was Alex Riley, because he started aping John Sterling calls. Oh my God. Okay, so this is a tangent within a tangent within a tangent that started as a story about remembering a fucking laptop. But so The Miz was the WWE champion at the time, and he had a mook named Alex Riley, who, the only thing you need to know about Alex Riley is that he was The Miz's mook. So The Miz has this mook named Alex Riley, and Michael Cole is a heel announcer, and he gets the idea, hey, I'm gonna steal something from John Sterling. So whenever Alex Riley loads up his fist with brass knuckles or kicks somebody in the dick or does something that's evil and heelish and bad, Michael Cole would get all excited and shout, "It's an A-bomb for A-Ry!" Just like John Sterling calling an Alex Rodriguez home run. There were some good parts about Michael Cole being a heel. That's a great heel call, I'm not gonna lie. That's a good heelish thing that Michael Cole did. He was a decently entertaining heel, but he was also the lead play-by-play announcer of the program, so... Alright, let's see here. We got shit dying, and I'm just kind of letting it die. I've got this dark blue, which is ultra fucked, despite the fact that we have 8,000 houses pointed at it. Here, let's smooth out your road here. What if we just motorway number 3, bing bang boom like so, and also kind of kill all of this access to it. So here, you 4 just motorway down over here. I'm having fun remembering a laptop. I hope other people are having fun listening to me remember a laptop, but you know, I suppose the title of the episode now has to be Remember a Laptop, because that's ostensibly what we're doing. So let's see here. This red situation up here is bad. It's very bad. Let's fix it somehow. How do we fix that? We take you, and we motorway 8, and we'll just put that up there. That'll be fine. You'll figure it out. I trust you. You get down here. Yeah, how am I gonna fix you? It's a lovely question to which I don't have an answer. We're gonna kill the red connection over here and have you join over here. That's gonna be great for you, not so great for you, but listen, you'll be fine. You have 5 houses in a motorway that's 1.5 inches long. I don't believe that you're actually in trouble. I think you're lying. There, that's what I think. You've just gone circular, which, hey, you've got 8,000 houses pointed at you already. That's fine. Not gonna do a single goddamn thing about that. You are kind of angerated, so why don't I take some of my road surplus and send you up this way? That'll be cool. Okay, so Michael Cole, heel announcer, becomes the voice of the anonymous Raw general manager. Note, Michael Cole denies that he is the anonymous Raw general manager, even though it would make perfect fucking sense in a world where Michael Cole's a heel, which, you know, your lead play-by-play announcer shouldn't be a heel, but, you know, we're in this fucking world. So 3,231 commuters over 100 days. That's pretty good. That's top 10% in the world. That's Samurai Sam didn't do the daily challenge today, so I win by default. Yay! I win. Drop those GGs in the chat. Hooray, victory. Okay. Let's ostensibly do Wordle, but also remember this laptop some more. So you've got Michael Cole, who's the heel announcer. You've got this anonymous Raw general manager delivering rulings via laptop. And every single time, and this happens multiple times a show, okay? This happens at least once, usually as many as 5 times on any given Monday Night Raw. Whenever they need to have an announcement from the anonymous Raw general manager, They would play the stupid iPhone notification twice, by the way, which isn't how iPhones work, but WWE has always been bad about shit. So they play the stupid iPhone notification twice. They flash the lights. They have Michael Cole grab a microphone, walk over to this lectern, and say, "Can I have everyone's attention? I have received an email from the anonymous Raw general manager." Every single time. It was great heel shtick. Except for the part where he was also the lead play-by-play announcer on your weekly wrestling show. It made for a terrible dynamic. But Michael Cole was vaguely entertaining as a heel, and he eventually kinda sorta got his ass handed to him by, among other people, Jim Ross, who then got run out of the company anyway and is now old and bad, while Michael Cole is middle-aged and bad. Time kills us all eventually. All of this is fleeting. You're wasting your life listening to you're spending your life listening to the _Goog rant about a laptop. It can't be after because that's like 3 letters in that word, so it's not that. It can't be alien. There's no E. Can't be party. Would be a bad guess. Could be banjo. Could absolutely be banjo. It's not. In the moment, it could have been. With greater knowledge than I had 27 seconds ago, I understand now that it's not banjo. So, oh well. So Michael Cole insists that he is not the anonymous Raw general manager, even though he's right there at ringside all the time and is getting a ton of attention and has people listen to his voice and would make perfect sense as the anonymous Raw general manager because he's a fucking coward who wants to have power but doesn't want to face the repercussions of having power, which in the case of WWE usually involves the general manager getting his ass handed to him, right? For a second, I thought you were suggesting that Jonathan Coachman, also known as the coach, could have been the anonymous Raw general manager. And then I realized that you were suggesting a word. It could be Coach. Oh, God. It could indeed be Coach. Jonathan Coachman was not the anonymous Raw general manager. It's Coach. God. Okay. Thank you, Sunflare Space. It absolutely could have been Coach. And you know what? I think at the time Coach was out of WWE. He was a guy who was in and out for a while. I think this was a time when he was out, but listen, revealing that the anonymous Raw general manager was actually Jonathan Coachman would have been better. It would have been better than what happened, because here are some examples of times the anonymous Raw general manager stuck his nose in everybody's business, right? One time, the Great Khali, who's like a 7.5 foot tall dude, was menacing Hornswoggle, who's like 2.5 feet tall. And the anonymous Raw general manager intervened to be like, "Hey, Great Khali, you can't bully Hornswoggle like that. You have to face Kane," or whatever. And then one time, Edge got really mad at the laptop because he just hated it. He thought it was stupid. Possibly in real life, definitely in character. Edge thought it was really stupid, so he beat the holy fuck out of the laptop. But the lights kept flashing and the emails kept coming in, and the anonymous Raw general manager was like, "Stop that! I insist that you stop that! Stop beating me up!" Eventually, Edge left. I don't remember how that ended. That angle ended when Edge tore his Achilles and then went away for several months and then came back as a babyface. But I digress. It's kind of what I do here when we're talking about wrestling. My point is, eventually, after almost a fucking year of this angle went on for so goddamn long. After months of this anonymous Raw general manager stuff, eventually, Chris Jericho got a hair across his ass and decided, no, I'm figuring out who this guy is, and we're figuring out who this guy is tonight. And the anonymous Raw general manager pops in and is like, no, don't. I'm anonymous. You can't find me. I'm definitely not here in the building. And Chris Jericho looks under the ring, and he finds Hornswoggle with a laptop. After months of this anonymous Raw general manager bullshit, and specific pointed weeks of who could it be, like the main storyline of the show at times was, who is the anonymous Raw general manager? Will we find out tonight? It was revealed that the anonymous Raw general manager was Hornswoggle. This makes the third time that a whodunit or who is it or what is the mystery answer storyline in WWE was revealed to be Hornswoggle. And it made the time that Hornswoggle was revealed make the least sense. Because as previously noted, it couldn't possibly have been Hornswoggle because Hornswoggle had been being menaced by the Great Khali while the anonymous Raw general manager made a ruling. But the _Goog, I hear you say. Surely Hornswoggle just had a friend or an accomplice who assisted him in those times when he was on screen and the anonymous Raw general manager made a ruling. That would kind of sort of make sense, even as a bit of a retcon to cover your ass. And I say yes, that would kind of sort of make sense, even as a bit of retcon to cover your ass. Except WWE never bothered doing that. They just said that Hornswoggle was the anonymous Raw general manager because WWE is bad. Have you noticed that all of the stories of WWE angles start with like interesting build-up and ideas that are going someplace, and then they end in a resolution that just kind of fucking sucks? 'Cause I've noticed that. Anyway, last night AEW Dynamite had an angle that started off with a really hot and interesting premise, and I don't know where they're going, and I'm intrigued, and it's going to build to a resolution that might or might not completely suck. We'll see. WWE is bad at finishing, and a lot of the time starting. Like, sometimes they just have angles that are bad. Like, that's the whole thing. The angle's just bad. I've never told the story about the time there was an angle where Natalya couldn't stop farting. It's because it's bad. It's bad from start to finish. Natalya's a wrestler. She farted one time, and then they turned it into an angle where she farted all the time. Sometimes they have a Kurt angle, which is actually a good example of a WWE angle in that it started off pretty good and interesting and was actually really great around like 2000 to 2003 or so, and then it got really hopped up on drugs and it was kind of sad to watch and scary for a while, and then it just kept coming back and 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 doing things that didn't make sense and ruining potential angles because of Triple H's involvement. And yeah, Kurt Angle really is the prototypical WWE angle. Anyway. Yeah, sometimes you get the yes movement where the crowd hijacked the show and then they kind of turned it into an angle, and for lack of better options, and believe me, they tried several options that would have been worse but kept falling the fuck apart, they eventually did indeed have Daniel Bryan do all the great thing. And listen, WrestleMania 30 should be viewed as the series finale of WWE, okay? If WWE was a television program, if like the history of World Wrestling Entertainment was being viewed as a television program, smart people would say, listen, you need to watch these years at these times, and then when you get to WrestleMania 30, stop. Just stop. WrestleMania 30 was a wonderful fucking program, though. It was a wonderful wrestling show. Anyway. So we need to remember some guys, not laptops, actual guys, real human men who played baseball for these teams or did these things. Let us start with the top left column. A Boston Red Sox player who played for the St. Louis Cardinals is Jeff Suppan. remember Pedro. Sadly, Pedro did not play for any of these other teams. He did face the Cardinals in the 2004 World Series, including a game started by Jeff Suppan. So that's nice. But yeah, Jeff Suppan is a Red Sox and Cardinals player. Red Sox and Tigers player, the most famous one is Tony Clark. Can I think of another one right off the top of my head? No, I really can't. Tony Clark, bing, bang, boom. Wow, only 0.9. I guess Tony Clark was an obscure for the Red Sox. He was a longtime legendary Tiger, but not many people remember that he played for the Red Sox, I guess. Let's see, Red Sox and Giants. Is Andrew Benintendi a Giant? I know, hold on, I have to cough again. I know the Red Sox traded Benintendi. I think they traded him to the Royals, though, didn't they? Or did he sign with the Royals? They either traded him to the Royals, or they traded him to the Giants and he signed with the Royals. There are probably other dudes who fit the category. I could probably think of another dude who fits the category if I, think about it for... Oh, I've got one. One of my favorite Red Sox for the short period of time he was on the Red Sox, Marco Scutaro. He was a Red Sox player and also a Giant. Good for him. Now then, let's do Hall of Famers because it's gonna be easier. A St. Louis Cardinal who is in the Hall of Fame is... do I want to burn Stan Musial now? I probably shouldn't burn Stan Musial now. On the other hand, I can't think of any other famous Cardinals. That's bad. It'll be fine. It will be fine. Stan Musial in the Hall of Fame. A Detroit Tiger who is in the Hall of Fame is Alan Trammell got in at some point. No, he didn't. Alan Trammell didn't get in. Fuck. Well, that makes life more difficult until I remember that Ty Cobb exists. Ty Cobb was a Tiger. See, it's right there in his name. Tiger. Hey, Ty Cobb, what kind of people did you hate? You would have the same... Anyway, Hall of Fame for the Giants is Juan Marichal? Juan Marichal. He was a Giant, wasn't he? Am I right about that? I think I'm right about that. One hopes that I'm right about that. Hey, I was right about that! Okay, so, people who had 200 plus hits in a season. Ty Cobb definitely did that, but I burned him over here. Stan Musial almost certainly did that, but I burned him over here. So, let's go a little bit more modern, shall we? A Detroit Tiger who had 200 hits in a season. That sounds like something Miguel Cabrera did. He was a high batting average, super... I thought Alan Trammell was always a guy who got nowhere near enough respect on the ballot. Did he actually get in? Maybe I was wrong. I appear to have been wrong about stuff. Great. Alan Trammell would have fit this square. Ty Cobb would have fit this square. Would have had a lower usage percentage than Miguel Cabrera. So, good for Ty Cobb. I do remember the bad Veterans Committee that put Jack Morris in. Did they also put Alan Trammell in? Good for them. Jack Morris would have fit this square also because he played for the Tigers and is in the Hall of Fame. So, good for him. A St. Louis Cardinal who had 200 hits in a season, that's something Albert Pujols did. Albert Pujols had to do that one time. Yeah, he totally did do that. Great. Okay, now then. San Francisco Giant who had 200 hits in a season. Is that something Barry Bonds did? I don't think that's something Barry Bonds did. I think when Barry Bonds... Well, okay. Barry Bonds was great in the early and mid-1990s. He was like one of the best players in baseball, perennial all-star, MVP candidate, arguable Hall of Fame track, right? Arguable, could have been on the Hall of Fame trajectory. That's the word I was looking for. And then 1998 rolls around and Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire hit a bunch of homers and Mark McGwire does a bunch of drugs and Sammy Sosa probably does a bunch of drugs. Barry Bonds gets all mad that these guys are hitting a bunch of homers and doing a bunch of drugs, so he does a bunch of fucking drugs and it gets really great and builds up a bunch of muscle. And, listen, it's not like he just injected himself with shit that gave him muscles. He had to work hard and lift weights and eat right and shit, but he also did a fuckload of drugs. And then he hit a bunch of homers and yeah. So my point is, he might have had 200 hits in a season before then. It sounds like a thing he would have done, but he also walked a bunch because he had a great batting eye and was also a terribly imposing figure in the box. Who's the most famous Giant? Probably Willie Mays. Is Willie Mays the guy who had 200 hits in the season? I mean, probably. Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah, sure, fine. We'll say it's a thing Willie Mays did. It's a thing Willie Mays did! Hooray! Props and victory and adulation for the _Goog, because I have been triumphant in the immaculate grid. My grid is immaculate, my Wordle is 3'd. Hey, Barry Bonds did not. Good for me. Alright, that will do us here today on Good Morning Mini Motorways. Thank you for being here as we remembered like half a dozen terrible wrestling angles all spinning around the concept of the anonymous Raw General Manager. And also the anonymous Raw General Manager. Thank you for being with us as we remembered that. I will be back later tonight for Valkyria Chronicles 4 as we continue just... Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. It's just like Valkyria Chronicles, except marginally better and also new. Yay! More Valkyria Chronicles later tonight. Until then, have a good day, everybody. Bye-bye.